My name is Caroline. I'm 32 years old, and I've just made the kind of mistake that can tear your whole world apart in an instant. One minute you're laughing, feeling untouchable, and the next you're sitting alone in a house so quiet it hurts, staring at a phone that stubbornly refuses to light up with a message you're desperately hoping for. I never truly believed my husband Ryan would leave me. I thought he might get upset, maybe stay distant for a little while, but actually pack his things and walk away. That never seemed possible. But that's exactly what happened. Now I'm not just swimming in guilt, I'm completely alone. With one reckless moment, I didn't just lose Ryan. I lost everything. It all started with a conversation I can barely even remember. One of those throwaway comments you make to sound clever to get a laugh. We were at a dinner party with friends, wine flowing freely, and I was riding a wave of confidence. Maybe too much confidence. The table buzzed with jokes and teasing about relationships, tossing around silly what-if questions. Someone asked, if you could trade your partner for anyone else, who would it be? Without missing a beat, I laughed, flipped my hair, and said what I thought at the time was witty. Oh, that's easy. I'd take my coworker over Ryan any day. The room exploded in laughter. I laughed too, tossing in a playful wink, soaking up the attention. It was just a joke. I wasn't serious. I wasn't saying I'd actually rather be with someone else instead of my husband. But in that moment I felt alive, bold, like the star of the evening. Friends howled with laughter. One even smacked my arm in playful encouragement. It all felt like harmless fun, or so I thought. Ryan didn't laugh. He didn't even smile. He just sat there silent, his eyes locked on me. Not angry, not amused, just still. That should have been my warning sign. Ryan's never been the type to raise his voice when he's hurt. He withdraws. And this was the kind of silence that freezes your blood. I brushed it off with a roll of my eyes, gave him a quick peck on the cheek, and told him to lighten up. But as soon as we got home, before we even took our shoes off, he turned to me with a question I wasn't ready for. Did you mean that? He asked. I blinked at him, confused. Mean what? What you said at dinner, he said, voice steady but cutting. Was that a joke, or do you really think you'd be happier with someone else? I let out a nervous laugh, defensive. Ryan, seriously, you know I didn't mean it like that. Then why say it? He asked, staring straight through me. And instead of apologizing, instead of softening, I folded my arms and snapped back. It was just a joke. You're blowing it way out of proportion. Ryan gave a hollow, bitter laugh. Out of proportion, he repeated, running a hand through his hair in frustration. I've spent years trying to make you feel loved. And the first time you really light up tonight, it's over someone else. Oh, come on, Ryan. Don't be so dramatic, I huffed. No, Caroline. He cut me off sharply. His voice had lost all its warmth. If you think someone else would make you happier, why are you even with me? That's when I felt the ground shift beneath my feet. This wasn't just a fight. This wasn't something we'd sleep off and forget. This was serious, and I could feel him slipping away. Ryan, stop, I said, my voice shaking as I tried to brush it aside, tried to laugh again. You're not seriously mad about a dumb joke, I said, but he wasn't listening anymore. Without another word, he turned and went upstairs. 20 minutes later, I found him in our bedroom pulling clothes into his suitcase. I stood in the doorway, arms crossed, still refusing to believe it. You're really leaving over this? Yes. He didn't even glance at me. It's not just this, he said quietly. It's everything. Panic crashed over me. All at once I saw it. All the times I'd taken him for granted, all the moments I brushed him off, confident he'd always stay. I begged him to stop packing. Pleaded. Told him he was making a mistake, that he was blowing things out of proportion, that I hadn't meant any of it. He zipped up the suitcase, grabbed his keys, and walked past me without a word. And just like that he was gone. The days after were unbearable. I kept telling myself he just needed a little time to cool off, that he'd come back, that we could work this out. But then I saw the email. It was sitting there in his inbox. A follow-up from a real estate agent about an apartment listing. My heart plummeted. He wasn't just staying with a friend. He was planning a whole new life without me. Called him straight to voicemail. I texted, no reply. I even recorded a voice message, my hands trembling as I spoke. Ryan, please, can we just talk? This is getting way out of hand. I didn't mean it. You know you're the only one I want. Please just come home. Silence. No reply that night. No reply the next day. Then finally a text. Short. Brutal. Thanks for confirming what I've suspected for a long time. You only use people for what they can give you. I was no different. Felt like a dagger to the heart. And the worst part was, he wasn't wrong. Called again, desperate. And this time he answered, but his voice was cold as ice. What do you want, Caroline? He asked. I tried to explain to make him understand. It was all a stupid misunderstanding. But he cut me off before I could finish. I need space, he said firmly. Don't contact me until I'm ready. And then he hung up. Now I'm here, staring at a silent phone, aching for a message that's never going to come. I thought I could say anything, do anything, and he would always stay. But now I have no husband, no marriage. And the coworker I joked about. He's not interested either. So here I am, completely alone with no one to blame but myself.